these actors have not learned their lesson with this unnecessary woke activism that actually isn't even paralleling reality with what they're spewing. And Jane Fonda, I don't care if she's an Academy Award winning actress, honestly, she's playing an amazing part right now, trying to act as if we can't do anything as people of color in this country. Like, everything's holding us back. It's ridiculously not true, and Bill Maher kind of exposes it a little bit while trying to be super kind and respectful, but I'm about to roast her. But before we get into that, make sure that you subscribe to Resist the Mainstream, because it ensures to YouTube that you're enjoying these videos and it will keep showing up in your feed, which is something that you want, and it'll push it out to more people. So let's get into this video.
No, I think I'm very normal. I think I'm very normal, and I love when I grew up. You know, I think it was like a very normal time.
If you were white, yeah.
Yes, if you were white, yeah. Absolutely. Glad we said that.
Starting off strong. My dad is 67, my mom is 60, and they both had good upbringings. My mom loved her life growing up. They always talk about how America was better when they were younger. And obviously there was probably elements of more racism and more things that would happen to make things harder for people of color at that time than there are now. There was, but yet they still thought America was a great country and loved America, and realized that they could make something of themselves if they really applied themselves, regardless of whatever obstacles may be in their way. And I don't think there's anything wrong with trying to remove any unnecessary obstacle. But in this day and age, they're not the case. And even when they were growing up, I don't think it was as extreme as they're trying to make it be, unless they were in the slave times, like, my goodness, or like Martin Luther King era, which I don't know how old they are or how old Jane Fonda is, so I guess that's a possibility, but I highly doubt it.
I mean, you know, I can't help that, nor could you, when we were born and how we were, you know, I mean, I think
the color of our skins.
Yeah, I mean, the problem with race, I always feel, is like, you and I personally didn't do it, but our race did it.
And continues.
And we benefited from it.
And still do, yeah.
Yeah. But less.
Why are we acting like white people were the only racist people in the world? Now, if we're going to sit there and attribute it to, like, specifically what happened in America, sure, I guess. I mean, I have an argument that a lot of black people are racist these days because of unnecessary reasons that have been spewed by people like this woman. But yeah, it's just like, yes, you can't help the way that your skin color is, and try and make people feel bad for the color of their skin. And this is another thing when it comes to diversity, inclusion, and all this stuff. It's like, I don't, like, for some of these white people, it's like, I don't relate to the people that were racist because I'm not racist. So just because they looked like me, not even look like me, they just had the same skin color as me, I am now, like, attributed all of their negative attributes and fault. Like, I have all of that on me just because we had the same skin color. That does not make any sense. And it's like, it's an uncomfortable truth. And this guy sits there and be like, yeah, like, they look like me, like, I can't help that, you know, they look like me. And she's just like, yeah, well, you do, so, like, you need to step up. Like, no. All people should come against people that are racist. All people should come against people that do wrong. But you don't need, because there's some people that do wrong, you don't attribute everyone that has the same skin color as them to also having done that wrong. It's so ridiculous.
Less than before. I feel one problem liberals have is they don't feel like they can acknowledge progress because it somehow makes them less good. They just have to always, there's more work to be done. And there always is more work to be done. We're humans on Earth. There always will be. But
it's pretty serious for people of color.
What is?
Oh my gosh.
The ability to live a middle-class life, the ability to accumulate wealth, the ability to own a home. You know, they are prevented from doing those things by laws that remain in place, like redlining and mortgage issues and so forth.
Redlining is illegal. No, you can't do that. That's not even true. But I mean, this shows your age, I guess. You think, no, that's not even true. And it's not hard to get, oh my gosh, mortgages and getting, like, here's what people don't understand. I was actually just talking to my best friend about this the other day. He was talking about how everyone was trying to attribute racism to some people not being able to get a loan for certain things, and, like, they want to buy a house and this and that. He goes, it's not because, and this is the black person who said this, it's not because you're black that you can't get a loan. It's because your credit's bad. How can that be attributed to your racism? Your decisions are why you have good or bad credit. The things you decide to do with your own life. Get a credit card, max it out, and don't pay. Like, that's on you. Or whatever reasons you may have, like, gotten bad credit. Like, you cannot say it's because of their skin color. Culturally, maybe you could say, if anything, There's a cultural behavior that's been going on for years upon years that I guess if you want to attribute that to the lack of financial literacy on how to operate a credit card properly, but that's not racism. That's a cultural issue that needs to be fixed, and I'm in favor of that. But to sit there and blame white people and say that we need to change the laws so that if people go into debt through their credit cards, we should make sure that they are relieved of all their own doing to themselves. I don't get it. That doesn't make any sense. But go on, Jane Fonda. Let's see what else you have to say.
That remain in place? Redlining?
Mortgage issues. They can't get the same
It's not
loans and mortgages that we do. White people do.
It's not against the law to discriminate for a business to hand out?
I guess there must be some laws, but they're not. I don't know. They're still discriminated against. I don't know about the laws. It still happens. It's very hard for black people.
Well, racism still is with us.
Mm-hmm.
The question I think we're asking is it institutional? I mean, you can never.
It's institutional in terms of wealth accumulation. It's very hard for people of color to accumulate wealth the way we can.
Definitely the biggest.
That's so racist, and it makes me feel like you think we're dumb, like we're not capable. We need to change the laws and make life easier for these Neanderthals who aren't capable of doing anything that requires competence. I don't know if that's their intent, but that's actually offensive to me. You're saying we can't do this. There's things in place that are hindering. Then what about the people that are successful? Are there no success? That can't be true when there are successful black people in our country. Thousands, if not hundreds of thousands, I'm sure. I don't understand. Maybe millions. I don't know. You can ask ChatGPT. I'm sure they'll give us an answer. I know there's rich black people, and I know that they apply themselves, and the reason why they're successful is because they did not attribute their skin color to whether or not they could become successful. They didn't say, because I look this way, it's impossible for me. They rose above. They ignored. Successful people have a similar mindset, and that is something that would be not diversity. Well, yes, diversity of thought. All these people, regardless of whether they're white, Asian, black, Hispanic, it don't matter. They all were that are successful, were disciplined, were diligent, were competent, and worked hard. And those are the attributes that that allow them and requires you to be able to be successful, not your skin color. That's not what it is. And these people are so freaking out of touch with the times. Yes, there was a time where it was hard. Yes, there was a time where people were doing things intentionally to make life harder for people that didn't look the way they did. Sure, but that's not how it is nowadays. Nowadays, it's a privilege to be black. There's black privilege, 100%.
Factor when you look at discrepancy is family wealth. It's crazy. The average net worth.
Mm-hmm.
This obviously is a legacy of our despicable history. For the longest time, black folks couldn't own anything.
Do you consider it very radical?
But the question then is, how do you address that?
Well, you try to organize in the mortgage banking community. I just spoke to a conference of mortgage bankers. That's one way.
Well,
we have to change the laws. Change the regulations.
Well, I must admit,
I'm convinced she has no idea what she's talking about. She's got to be a talking head for the liberal party, Democratic Party. Just say this. It'll work. Just say racism, discrimination, laws, they need to be changed. Just spout that stuff. It'll work. It doesn't anymore, though. We're over it.
This one is not one that's on my radar. I didn't know that. I certainly was aware that, for different reasons, I thought black folks sometimes did have a harder time just getting a mortgage, getting a loan. That's just individual racism that people have. These people just have stereotypes. But I feel like we passed the laws that this is not covered in any statute right up until 2024 that a mortgage company can do that? I don't know.
I don't think that redlining is legal anymore. But there are other ways that the banking system and the real estate system keeps people of color out of communities, nice homes, the ability to, home ownership is the beginning of wealth accumulation. It's something that everybody should be able to do.
Yeah, it's a difficult.
They're not doing all that. That's They're not doing all that. That's so dramatic. Oh, you know, homeowners and banking, their mortgages, they're all trying to do things intentionally, meticulously planning on how to make sure that black people and people of color can't get a house. That's not what's happening. Like, you really think that's happening? And we're the conspiracy theorists. You think that's happening. You think they're all colluding together to make sure, oh, remember, we just got to do it slyly. People of color can't get a house. We can't let them get it. Like, that's not how it works. Ridiculous. It's so ridiculous. And Bill Maher, honestly, bro, this is the most he must have some respect or, you know, high praise for this woman and had a crush on her as a child or something, because he was being so soft comparatively to how he normally is to people that are actually acting insanely woke. It's ridiculous. He was like, I don't agree with you clearly, but how do I say it in a way that doesn't offend you? She needs a wake-up call. That's actually insane. That's not how it is at all. But woke actresses are gonna act woke. That's just how it is. We're just used to it at this point, and I mean, their opinions don't really hold any weight anymore to the American public. We're just like, all right, bet. There's another woke Democrat. Yeah, you're all Democrats. You're all woke. You do your thing, and we'll do ours. We're gonna put Trump in, and we're gonna put Vance in 2028. Whoever the best candidate is, but I'm assuming it's going to be Vance. Anyways, if you enjoyed this video, make sure to comment below your thoughts. Make sure you're subscribed. Again, it engages, and YouTube will put it out to more people, and then more people will be able to see, and you'll be able to continue to see it on your feed. So make sure that you subscribe, commenting, engaging. I want to know your thoughts, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.